And now, ladies and gentlemen, time for the nation's sharpest opinion. And I would like to begin by saying tonight that once again, extremely politely and with the greatest of humility, I would, with all my conviction, question what the Supreme Court of India has done today once again. I would like to question why the Supreme Court, while staying a Bombay High Court judgment, acquitting all the 12 convicts in the 7/11 Mumbai train blast case of 2006, also said that the released men, seen there so happy, celebrating, need not go back to jail. I do not understand this. These men have not been acquitted. Their acquittal has been stayed, which means that as of today, they continue to be convicts in the Mumbai train blast case. 189 people died. These are the men who are certainly more than in the arrow of suspicion. They have been convicted by a lower court, which means as of today, they have not been acquitted in a case in which 189 citizens of India died. They are therefore convicted in a case of terrorism. And today they are celebrating, happy, oh so happy to be with their families. But they know, all of these people celebrating, they know that 189 families were torn apart because of their actions. And I will continue to say this till they are acquitted. Because of their actions, 189 people allegedly lost their lives in 2006, and they are back. And the Supreme Court said today that while they are staying the acquittal, which means they remain convicts, for some strange reason, for some reason I don't understand, for some reason I disagree with the Supreme Court with, the Supreme Court says they will remain free. What kind of a country are we, ladies and gentlemen, where people who have not been acquitted and who therefore continue to be convicted in one of the biggest terrorist cases in our country are going to be sitting at home, watching TV, going to the mall, going to fancy restaurants, eating well, sleeping well, being with their families? If this is not special treatment, then what is? If this is not special treatment, then what is special treatment? I ask you viewers today, just let's add simple, rational thought to this. If in America, you had people convicted in 9/11 who'd been acquitted by one of the appellate courts, but whose acquittal was to be stayed by the Supreme Court of America, which means they remain convicted. They remain under investigation. They remain under trial, but they remain convicted. Would all the convicts not acquitted roam around shopping in Manhattan and celebrating their freedom? This country's constitution gives me absolute right to disagree, not with the decision to stay the acquittal by the Supreme Court, but to disagree with the decision of the Supreme Court that the released men need not return to jail. This is a country where a common man gets stuck in jail for 50 years and is released when he turns 104. When it is said that the case never existed, his wife has died, his children have died, his life is over. And that's the man out there, ladies and gentlemen. He got stuck in jail for 50 years. When he came out, his life was almost over. Then the court says to him, you're so old, you're 104 years old, go away. But doesn't give him justice. And on the other, ladies and gentlemen, 189 people died in the 7/11 Mumbai train blast case. And while the acquittal of these people has been stayed, they're out there celebrating with their families, and they will not go back to jail. And then we say, we must be tough on terrorism. When the courts debate technicalities and evidence, terrorists don't. We must remember always, yesterday in Gujarat, the Gujarat Anti-Terrorist Squad, just yesterday, arrested 4 men who linked to the Al-Qaeda. There they are. So are we saying that terrorism is over in this country? And we are told that no, the people who are convicted in the 7/11 Mumbai train blast case will not go back to jail. If they won't go back to jail, who should? A petty thief or someone who's been wrongly accused in a minor case. But they should not go back to jail. Why? Why should they get special treatment? The nation wants to know. In Kashmir, 250 overground terror workers have been picked up in the aftermath of Operation Sindoor. Al-Qaeda operatives in our country are still recruiting online in Delhi, Ahmedabad, Noida. Can we, as a country, afford to send a message that botched probes are forgiven and forgotten? You see, these things make us extremely angry. And while these people celebrate, I ask you tonight, as a citizen of India to another, who speaks for the 189 people who died in the Mumbai train blast case? I respect the courts greatly, but with the greatest of respect, justice should not be seen to be done in a vacuum. And justice should be seen to be done. But if justice is seen to be done in a vacuum, it raises even more serious questions. And if nobody else, then Republic will question it.